the first time ever, Americans have elected a convicted felon president of the United States. Former President Donald Trump, now President-elect Donald Trump, is awaiting sentencing in a New York hush money case. He also faces federal and state charges in connection with alleged efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. So what happens to those charges now? Let us ask CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi. Good to see you.
You too.
All right. So we just sort of ran through that laundry list. The president-elect has said he will fire the special counsel, Jack Smith, leading that federal investigation into the election interference case. What does that mean? Could the case simply be dismissed because he is now president of the United States?
Yeah, I think the exact quote is within 2 minutes he will fire Jack Smith. So legally speaking, what would happen is he would come in, appoint a different attorney general who would then fire Jack Smith and direct that the cases be dismissed. Big picture here, though, Vlad, is that his election to the presidency will effectively allow him to completely evade any criminal responsibility for any of these cases, federal and state.
And in Georgia, the election interference case?
So that case has
the
some issues.
The case here in New York?
The hush money case here in New York. I mean, look, it's scheduled. The sentencing is scheduled in less than 3 weeks, 34 felony counts he's been convicted of already. The judge in that case is a real pragmatist, Juan Merchan. He has delayed the sentencing. There is a pending motion since that SCOTUS decision to impart broad presidential immunity. It doesn't have so many implications for this case because these actions weren't done while he was in office, but there is a motion pending to throw that entire case out because of the immunity decision as well. So we'll see what happens. No chance he's going to serve prison time prior to taking office. I don't see him serving prison time at all, quite frankly. Remember, it's not specifically necessary in this case for the sentencing. We'll see. The judge is in a difficult position if he kicks out sentencing until, who knows how long.
Can Donald Trump pardon himself?
Scholars are split on that issue, but it's really a non-issue.
I've heard both.
Yeah, they go either way. It's never been done before. Look, just like Donald Trump in a lot of issues, we are in completely uncharted legal territory, so it's up in the air. But the fact is, that's a belt and suspenders issue anyway. Yeah. He might not need to pardon himself. He certainly cannot pardon himself for the state cases. However, in these federal cases, as we started off the segment, he's simply going to have those cases dismissed. He won't need to pardon himself for those.
And Trump has threatened to prosecute his political enemies. He has talked about it. He's been very honest. Are there guardrails?
He has promised to do it.
Yeah, he has promised to do it. Are there guardrails in the legal system that can, restrict him from just making an at-will decision just cause?
Certainly there are, which is one of the beauties of our criminal justice system. Prosecutions need grand juries to indict, right? You can't just have a prosecutor bring an indictment out of thin air. So there is a process in place. However, they would need evidence to present to a grand jury. A grand jury would need to decide to indict. We've seen this flurry of special counsel appointments to investigate things in recent years. And so that's how this process would play out. Trump would appoint a special counsel to investigate all this laundry list, really, of people that are his political rivals that he said he will investigate. They would then present that evidence if they found anything to a grand jury.
Still has to make its way through the legal system.
Yeah, but, there are ways he can, he gets to appoint federal judges. He can forum shop in places that he feels that the grand jury selection would be more favorable to him. So there are certainly ways that he can, manipulate the system, but he doesn't have carte blanche just to indict anyone.
All right, Caroline, thank you so much.
Has someone told him that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.